Hi, my name is Chris Luck. I'm the founder of Alphapreneur.com, which is the private online community for entrepreneurs that will help you get the results that you truly want in your life. So if we just jump over to my computer really quick, you can see, if you're not yet a member, you can just simply go to Alphapreneur.com and you're going to see, you can just see what it is, put in your email and try it out and see if it's for you. And once you get into Alphapreneur, this is what Alphapreneur looks like. So it's a private, again, online community. So it's not on Facebook, it's not on LinkedIn or anything like that, because I think those places are not safe to be, especially with all the privacy stuff and censorship and everything going on right now. There's a lot of negativity too. So I wanted to build just a kind of a private little corner and a safe place on the internet for entrepreneurs to go where we can just help each other really start and grow businesses. So that's what this is. And you'll notice on the bottom left of this YouTube live stream, it says the One Funnel Away Challenge Day 23. And this video is actually, we are going through, a buddy of mine, Russell Brunson, he has a challenge that he did called the One Funnel Away Challenge, where it'll show you how to kind of start and build your first funnel or your next funnel. And there's a lot of Alphapreneurs that I know wanted to go through that challenge. So instead of just saying, yeah, you should totally go through it, like if you want to learn how to build a funnel, it'll be a good challenge to go through. Instead of doing that, I figure, you know what, I'm actually going to buy into the challenge and go through it myself and then take notes along the way. So that's what I'm doing. And today is day 23. So what I'd like to do is just kind of go over my notes of what we're talking about today. And if you need to go and look at like the past trainings, you can actually, when you go into Alphapreneur, you can go to challenges and then just click on OFA, which stands for One Funnel Away. And that's going to take you to the One Funnel Away Challenge, which today we're actually going to be on day 23. So you're going to see down here, this is where all the previous days are. So if you need to get caught up, you can get caught up. All these YouTube live streams are recorded and put in here so you can get access to them, including all my notes and all that kind of stuff. So you can also, in the search bar, you can just type in, day 23. And from there, you can actually see, this is day 23, the topic. So we can click on the topic and then it'll take us directly to day 23. So this is what I want to do, is actually go over my notes with you. So starting off, we have the one-pager link, and the one-pager link is just kind of some extra credit in terms of extra videos and stuff you can watch in addition to the live stream that was streamed today that Russell did for the challengers and the One Funnel Away Challenge. So that's your one-pager link. And then my notes are really short today. So I just want to really, if it's okay with you, I want to just like breeze through my notes because it's really simple, show you the one-pager, and then I also want to show you some kind of juicy extra stuff that I know is really going to help you along the way, especially when you get into doing social media. It can be absolutely overwhelming with everything you need to do. So I have a couple tricks up my sleeve and tools that I've kind of learned over 22 years of being an entrepreneur that I want to share with you that I think is going to really help you out a lot. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get in and take a look at my notes. So to start off, they talked about like ads really accelerate what you have, because a lot of people think, okay, when you get on social media, you can just, skip all the organic stuff you got to do with creating content and just start building ads. And that is that you can do that. But if you don't have anything to start and you start just creating ads and throw money at the wall on ads, you could waste a lot of money because you don't know what people are already engaging with and what's going to work and what's not going to work, what's going to stick, what's not going to stick. So with what you should really do and the proper way to go about social media on any platform is to start posting organically and then take whatever's working organically and then turn what's working organically into an ad. And then you start putting, think of it as like when you're creating ads, like you're building campfires, right? And you have a lot of different campfires. Some are gonna work and some aren't. And then the ones that are starting to work, when you're buying ads, you're pretty much just throwing more logs onto the campfire. That's my analogy for the day. So that is so ads are gonna accelerate what you have. And then they talked about when you are doing some organic posting, a lot of people are going into Facebook groups and just really spamming the groups, and that's not what you want to do. Some groups will actually want you to share videos, but some groups are going to be very specific and say, we don't want any outside content shared in this group. And if that's the case, well, you can just leave the group and move into a group where people like stuff that's being shared. And when you go into a group, your goal should always be to give value, not to spam. So don't, post things with call to actions telling people to like leave the group to go to a page that is your funnel where it's clearly set up to where you're trying to sell something or collect their email address. Don't do that. You just want to share stuff that's truly valuable And then instead, what you can do is use your Facebook page for your call to action. So for instance, if you have, let's say you're doing a video teaching people how to do how to tie a fly for fly fishing, for trout fishing. Well, you could have a Facebook page and you could do a video about tying a fly and then put that on your Facebook page and then share that video that's on your page like in a group somewhere. And people are naturally going to like go check out your page if they like the video. And then that's where you can have other posts and stuff on your page that are selling. So does that make sense as far as like not selling directly in a group, but doing a very specific piece of content that's truly going to help somebody and then share that in a group. And then when they come naturally check out your page, that's where they see all the other stuff that they could buy. Let me know for those of you that are here in the live chat, if that makes sense. And if you're watching the recording of this and you hear me talking about live chat, but you see on YouTube the live chat is disabled, that is because when I do these live streams that I'm doing right now, the live chat is only enabled during the live stream. It's disabled and you can't see it when you're not on the live stream. So if you like kind of the format of this live stream and you want to come check out what's going on in the future, what you could do is actually subscribe to this YouTube channel if you've not done so already. Because I go live all the time, just about every day on this YouTube channel to really teach fun stuff about being an entrepreneur and things you can do to kind of grow your business. So you can subscribe to this YouTube channel and then turn on your notifications by hitting the bell icon. And then when you do show up live, then you can participate in the live chat and have a lot of fun. So for those that are here live, by the way, if you're here live too and you're a member, just say you're a member or whatever you want about Alphapreneur. I'm happy to showcase you and put you on the spotlight on the video here. So let's take a look. Sue says, that's brilliant, Chris. Thank you, Sue. Glenn says, makes total sense. Sven says, makes sense. Gary says, makes sense to me. Frank says, makes sense. Magnus says, sounds good. Makes total sense. Glenn's a member. Gary's a member. Sven's a member for life. Thank you for all the members that are coming in and let me know that you're a member. So thank you. I appreciate it. I'm just putting up all of your comments here on the screen. For those that are watching the replay, hopefully, if you're watching this and you're watching the replay, you're missing out. You need to be here live so you can actually participate in the live chat because it is on fire right now. So thank you for everyone that is taking the time to leave comments in the live chat. So getting back to the notes here, and since everything makes sense, we're just going to keep on moving forward. So you want to instead, well, again, don't do call to actions. You want to use your Facebook page for your call to actions. For this to work, you need the right targeting. And then that's where they transition on today's live stream for this One Funnel Away challenge to actually talk about how to do targeting on Facebook. So this is actually kind of things that we've covered yesterday. So she talked about using Facebook Audience Insights. I talked about that, yesterday or 2 days ago. So that we're kind of on point there. So we're not going to, talk about what I already talked about. You can just go watch yesterday's video. But for today, she talked about what you can do is start making posts on, sorry, I got something in my you can start making posts on Facebook. And then she said you should set up your pixel, you should create some events, you should configure your ad account. And for those of you that she didn't go into showing you how to do all that. And then because she's created a video for you that's on your one pager where you can see how to do that. And I'll show you where to see that in a second. But to finish up my notes, she said publish 3 different types of content. One could be like a conversation starter. So you could say something on your Facebook page, like let's say for fly fishing, let's say you made a lot of these fly fishing videos and you put them on your Facebook page and then you're sharing those in Facebook groups and people are like, man, these videos are great. And then they're going to check out your Facebook page. You could have a post on your Facebook page and pin it to the top of your Facebook page. That could be an announcement and say something like, hey, I just made I just made this new blueprint, or not blueprint. That's something I'm doing. You would say, I just made this new guide that's like 101 secrets to, catch a lunker or something like that, which is like trout talk. And you could put that on as an announcement on the top of your Facebook page. So when people are coming to your Facebook page from a Facebook group, because you had these really engaging videos, they're going to see that announcement. And they're like, well, yeah, I want this. So then that way, that's your conversation starter post. Then she said you could do some proof videos, you could do some quote photos and just random stuff like that. But the meat of today's session and where you want to spend your time, and if you feel like you're overwhelmed, you probably should be overwhelmed if you're new to this, because they didn't really go into the weeds on anything today. So I was wondering, well, how are they going to fix that? And they fix that by doing this one pager link. So you can go into Alphapreneur, go to the OFA challenge on day 23. Here's your one-pager link. So when you click on that, it'll take you to today, day 23, which is really setting up all the tech. So this is the girl that talked today. Her name is Rachel. And you can see, I was just checking to see how long this video was. And it looks like it's about a 15-minute video. And she goes into talking about like all the stuff you need to know about setting up pixels, setting up audiences, setting up your business account. And all that's free, by the way. You don't have to pay for any of this stuff. So go watch that video so you can kind of learn how to do all that. And then for the rest of the one pager, what you can do here is actually see, they just kind of, the thing I don't like about her one pagers, they're not really like one pagers where you can put in your information and there's a reason for you to put it in so you can save it. It's pretty much like a checklist. Like step 1, set up your targeting. Do you, So like, do you know the right niche? Is there active people? Did you set up your targeting in an ads manager, I guess? I don't know. You could just go ahead and check those off if you want, so you know that you've done those. And then step 2, turn on your pixel. So again, you need to set up your ads account. You should install the pixel, and you should set up a conversion event. And she covers all that again in the video that you see up here. So don't feel like you don't know what to do, because you probably don't know what to do until you watch that video. So that is step 2. And then step 3 is to design the creative. This is going to be the actual like ad that you would create, or the flow you'd be doing for your posts on social media. Then step 4 is amplifying with ads. So you would just take whatever you want to, whatever post is maybe getting some engagement, and then amplify it with ads. And then she explained everything, in the format of like a rocket. So the top of your rocket is like your targeting. Then you're collecting people with your pixel. You got your creative, and then I'll make you money. I mean, it's an okay doodle, I guess. And then she used this analogy about making more rockets. The more rockets you have, the more money you can make, and all that kind of stuff. I like using an analogy of like more hooks in the water, or more fishing bait. So then Jim Edwards has a thing here talking about a new ad template script. So you can watch that video. If you just click play on the video, it'll take you over to where you can, that's a 13-minute video. So again, this is all free inside the One Funnel Away Challenge, which I thought was pretty cool. So that is everything you need. You don't need Russell's Traffic Secrets book. I mean, he's a good marketer. So if he has a chance to push his book, he's going to push his book. So don't feel like you have to grab a copy. It's just there if you want it, just to be completely transparent. And that is going to be my notes for today. So let's go ahead and take a look here in the chat. It looks like we have some more members. Thank you, Frederick, for being here. Thank you, Fator, for being here. So we have some more members that are coming in, and the chat is going on right now. So what I want to do is share a couple tools with you that I think will kind of help you along the way. That they're not necessary. You don't have to have these, but it's like a nice to have kind of thing. And these are pretty advanced too. Like, you really don't need to have these at all. But if you want, I would recommend just maybe going to these tools and then bookmarking them on your browser. And you can always come back to them later, because that's one of the things that I like to do in my live streams. Is I've been doing this stuff for a long time. So I've got thousands upon thousands of different tools and things that I can recommend for just about everything imaginable with being an entrepreneur. So when the time is right, and I feel like there's a good recommendation I can give you, I'm going to give you a good recommendation. So that's one of the benefits of being on these live streams. You're going to get a lot of good information. So what you can do is actually, before I get into the tool, I saw there was a question. I don't want people with questions to be hanging. So Sue says, when you post, and by the way, if you're watching the recording of this, these are questions that are being posted in the live chat right now, which is another benefit of being here live. So you can ask questions, and then I'll put your question up on the screen, then I'll answer it. So Sue says, when you post image post of other people, do you need their permission? For example, if someone posts, someone lost weight with the product and I'm an ambassador for, can I use their already published testimonials? I would reach out to them, just send them a message on Facebook, on their Facebook page, and find out. Generally speaking, it's not okay to post other people's stuff unless you get their permission. So just to be safe, so you don't, have any nasty emails, or, your Facebook account being shut down because, someone is attacking you because you were posting stuff without their permission, just reach out to them just to make sure. Ted says, do you advise sharing posts that are tagged in it with a product in your Facebook store? Sharing posts that are tagged with product in your face. I'm not quite sure exactly what you mean by that. If anyone is here in the live chat and can better understand what Ted's saying can help them, let me know, and then post your answer, and then I'll read your answer live. Or Ted, if you want to be a little more specific, I will be happy to help you out. So, all right. So what I want to do is jump in and share 2 tools with you that are super powerful. And also, there is one thing too. I normally have this book sitting next to me, which is the first edition of Think and Grow Rich. I always have it sitting right here because just really changed my life in the way that I think. So I always like to have it like front and center on my desk. But today I got something different sitting next to me. So I'm going to talk about that here at the end of the live stream. So stick around so you can kind of see what that is because it's I think it's pretty cool, and it's going to really open your mind to some ideas that maybe you might want to consider with your business. So the first tool that I want to share with you is going to be a tool a buddy of mine created, Dave, called Conversion.ai. Now, I demoed this really briefly in a previous live stream, but I'm just going to kind of demo it again in a different context. And Conversion.ai, if you don't know what this is, it basically uses artificial intelligence to allow you to write really high converting copy that's going to help you increase conversions on really anything you want to do online. So for this case specifically, I'm logged into my account right now, and this is what Conversion AI looks like. And this is, again, what I like to do on my live streams. I spend thousands of dollars a month on all kinds of different software and services and products, most of which I don't even use, but I keep the subscriptions active so I can kind of showcase them for you and show you behind the scenes how they work before you start shelling out money and trying them out. So with Conversion.ai, what you can do here is you can pick a template on what it is that you'd like to do. And they're always adding new templates, which is super cool because there's some new ones showing up all the time that I think is just awesome. But what I want to talk about is there is a template specifically called blog post topic ideas. Now, we're not writing blog posts right now in the challenge, so don't freak out. But what you can do here is if you're trying to come up with ideas of things that you could maybe write on Facebook, that will give you ideas of things like topics that you could just talk about on Facebook, right? This is a really cool thing. Brett says, I've been testing it and it's epic. I assume you're talking about Conversion.ai. Yeah, it is unbelievable. So I'm just going to use an example here. So let's use Alphapreneur as an example. So I'll just do the company name, Alphapreneur. And this is like, I'm trying to come up with ideas for things that I could maybe talk about. In this template would be talk about in terms of a blog post, but in our case for this challenge and what we're talking about right now with social media, this would be things I can maybe think about to talk about on social media. So company name, Alphapreneur, product description. Alphapreneur is a private online community for entrepreneurs that'll help you get the results you truly want in your life. Audience would be entrepreneurs. And then some examples. You don't have to fill this stuff out. Here, let me make sure you can see all the buttons and everything. So you don't have to fill this out, but what you can do, and this is only going to make Conversion.ai way more powerful, is you can train it by giving some example outputs of just stuff that's a little more related to what you're doing. Because the more information that you feed this thing, the more information and targeted it's going to be with giving you stuff back. So what we're going to do is we'll put in some examples here. So we will do... some examples would be like learn how to start and grow, or we'll just say learn how to start your first online business. These are things that I know that are being talked about and that talked about and delivered to entrepreneurs inside of Alphapreneur. So we'll do learn how to start your first business, eliminate roadblocks and create geometric growth. Another one would be get the results you truly want in your life. Another one is we have a new area called trend reports. So this would be discover emerging untapped business opportunities. And let's do like get key insights from nonfiction books. By the way, this is one of my favorite areas of Alphapreneur that most people aren't aware of is you can go into Alphapreneur and on the left-hand side, you could just click on books. And when you click on books, it'll take you to what I call like Alphapreneur summaries. And these are just summaries of like all of like my favorite business books that are, you can click on and just kind of read summaries. I personally love book summaries, so I wanted to make sure that's a feature inside of Alphapreneur, which it is. So that's one of the things we talk about. And then ultimately, let's say, discover how to live a more passionate and purposeful life. So those are some examples of like things that I could talk about on social media. This is just to kind of give this conversion.ai, which they call the robot in here Jarvis, which I think is pretty cool. But this is just giving Jarvis some ideas of what you could do. So we are going to generate AI content. And I just said 5 outputs. So what it's doing now is just going to tell me a bunch of things that I could talk about on social media. So based off of examples that I'm putting in here. So these are, 5 examples. How to stop procrastinating, how to start your first online business, join private community, how to get out of the rat race and create a high, some things like this. It won't finish, but it's just giving you ideas. What it really takes to change your life. And you're like, oh, that's not bad. So let's go ahead and just generate 5 more. And top 10 books to read in 2015, which again, this is just, it's AI. So it's pulling a lot of random information together off the internet. So I could say top 10 books to read in 2021. But this, again, this is just giving you ideas. This isn't like writing the content for you. That's actually another template that does that. That's in conversion.ai. But this, I know that since there's a whole summary part in Alphapreneur, I would never think like, off the top of my mind to maybe do a whole post on my Facebook page about the top 10 books to read. And I could expand on this. Like when you should look at this as like someone sitting next to you, just nudging you saying, hey, maybe you should write about this, or hey, maybe you should write about this. So I could say something about like top 10 business books to read in 2021 that'll change your life or something like that. 5 proven ways to increase your blog traffic. So I could look at this and be like 5 proven ways to increase your Facebook engagement in 2021. Book summaries, how to create an online business that changes the world, top 10 companies to work for. Just all this stuff is just, it's really, really cool ideas that'll just giving you a lot of things that you can come up with. Desi says, reading Outliers now, mind altering. Desi, I think we actually have too an Outliers summary in Alphapreneur. You should take a look at that as well. So anyway, this is a really fun tool, which again, it's just conversion.ai. Buddy of mine, Dave, put together. It's just like hitting the market right now. So if you're wondering about pricing and all that, at the time, I think you can start like $29 and you can generate up to 20,000 words with that. But he's coming up with all kinds of other ideas too for pricing. So that might change whenever you go check it out. And that's not a paid endorsement or anything like that. I will be an ambassador at one point when he has a program for it, but I'm not right now. So I'm just talking about it because I think it's cool and I want to share it with you. So that is that. Another one is called later.com. This is a tool that you could use to really automate everything. So if you're at all like me, you probably don't want to just sit down and write like, thank you, Sven. Sven says amazing. You probably don't want to sit down and be like posting on Facebook all day. That's boring. And it's not a lot of fun. But what's fun is sitting down for a couple hours and then writing a bunch of posts, maybe going into conversion.ai, having Jarvis like write all the stuff for you, and then putting it into a place that'll automatically just drip out the content whenever you want. And so you do it like you could do all of your social media posting for the entire week on Monday before lunchtime. Like by lunchtime, you have all your stuff done and you don't have to ever log into Facebook for the rest of the week. So if you want to do something like that, which that's how I like to kind of work, you could actually go to later.com, and it says world's favorite Instagram marketing platform, but you'll notice there's a lot of other things that it does as well. And it always talks about Instagram, but you can see it actually, what it does is it allows you to plan all of your posts ahead of time, and you can queue up or sync all the different social platforms that you're on. So you could have, let's say, if I have this one post about top 10 business books for 2021 that will change your life, and I could write that post and I could write it in the format for Facebook. I could write it in the format for Instagram, for Pinterest, for Twitter, and then I could load it and say, okay, Wednesday at 10 a.m., do this post on all my social networks. And then you sync all your social networks to it. So it's just really, really cool. And you can also, find like powerful content that's already been like shared a lot, and it'll give you content ideas and all that. So anyway, that's later.com. I'll actually do a whole live stream when this whole challenge is over. I've got a spreadsheet of hundreds of topics that I'm going to live stream about on YouTube that's going to help you really, be a successful entrepreneur. And that's kind of my whole mission, by the way. If you don't know, like, really the whole, like, what's going on in my mind about Alphapreneur, my whole purpose with Alphapreneur is to just really provide everything that an entrepreneur possibly could ever want to get the results that they want to get in their life. Because the results for you might be completely different than the results that I want. But there's going to be similar tools, similar books, similar strategies, similar everything that's going to help us both get the results that we truly want. So that's why I just say results. Now, like I mentioned, that was what was here earlier, and I didn't say what it was. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on camera. So I'll actually show you how to find this on the internet. But this is going to be something new that I'm going to have on my desk. I'm probably not going to have it right here the whole time, just because I don't know. I move my arms around a lot whenever I talk, so it'll just get in the way. But I wanted to have this here, so it was a reminder that I need to talk about this. So what I'm going to do is put my book back there, because I don't mind having that there, but this is just kind of going to be in the way. But what I'm going to do is frame this, and then put it on my wall to always be another memory of what I need to be doing. So what is it? You're probably wondering. So let me jump over and show you my screen again. And if you want, you could go to YouTube, and this is, or not YouTube, we're on YouTube. You could go to Google and type in the Disney recipe, Harvard Business Review, and you'll find what I'm really excited about. So I'm just going to read some of this, because I think this is going to be very important to a lot of you that is possibly building a business. So I have built a lot of businesses in my time online. For 22 years, I've lost track of how many businesses that I built. A lot of them failed. The majority of them have failed. Very few of them have been really successful, and only a couple of them have been like extremely successful. Alphapreneur is one of the ones that is going in the direction of being extremely successful. So it's one of those things, like when you have a tiger by the tail, you hold on as tight as you can, right? So that's what I'm doing with Alphapreneur. And why it's working so well is because instead of, here, I'm going to jump over here. I'm going to come back to my screen in a second. Why it's working so well is because instead of just creating a product, like a single product that is teaching somebody how to do something or solving a specific problem, which most people do, they'll have an idea for a product, and then they create a domain name, and then they create this whole like presence around the product, and then they sell the product. That's great. And I've done that a lot of times. Like one of the most recent products that I did was, here, I'll show you, was Evil Energy. So this would be an example of, you go to evilenergy.com, you can see it. So this is one of my businesses that's an energy drink. And this is showing you how you basically are building an entire business around a single product. So a single product being an energy drink. So this is great, and it's has done well, but it hasn't done incredibly well. And the reason for that is because all I can do is sell one product. I can sell more of one product. As you can see here, you could buy one box, 3 or 6, but I don't have any other products under the brand. And yeah, I could maybe come out different flavors and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, the business is just an energy drink. All right. So there's that. And then there's Alphapreneur. Now, the difference between a business like Alphapreneur and a business like Evil Energy is Alphapreneur is more of a brand. And think of like Apple as a brand. Apple doesn't just sell computers. Apple sells all kinds of things. And whenever something comes out from Apple, it's going to be, the quality you're going to get. Disney is a brand. Disney is not a theme park. Disney is not just a movie production company. Disney is a brand where they have a lot of different things, and they all like interact together, and they all kind of, it'll make sense whenever you see this thing that I printed out here in a second. But that's what I'm doing with Alphapreneur. And the reason I'm telling you all this is because this is something you might want to consider as an entrepreneur yourself. Like, think about creating more of a brand and like an umbrella where you create one place where you can come up with as many things as you want, but it needs to can always be under that one place. And that way you're going to really be focused and not be jumping all over the place, and like one day be working on something like this, another day working on something like Evil Energy. Another business that I have is called Nature Now, which is a supplement company. So, a bunch of different products under a supplement brand. But anyway, back to Alphapreneur. What's really, really powerful is this article that I came across recently. Now, this article was written in 2013, but to me, it's brand new. So I just want to kind of share this with you. So I'll just kind of read through it pretty quickly. So in a recent interview, Jeffrey Katzenberg described his first day at Disney as the newly appointed head of Walt Disney Studios. The equally new Disney CEO gave him a simple, ambiguous mandate: fix animation at Disney. Now, although a veteran in the film business, Katzenberg had no experience with animation and little appetite for it. Disney long-timers, however, informed him that Walt Disney, this is Walt Disney himself, left extensive notes and audio recordings concerning his experiences making animation, which were stored in the Disney archives. Now, looking through these records, he discovered that Walt had effectively left the recipe for making a Disney animated movie. Katzenberg proceeded to apply this recipe with remarkable success, adding along the way some extra ingredients of his own. That's a little typo there, Harvard. Walt Disney, however, left another arguably even more valuable recipe for his company. This was a strategic recipe, or what I call a corporate theory of sustained growth. This corporate theory is largely captured in the adjacent drawing, also from the Disney archives, published in 1957. This is the map that I have on my desk. So it depicts a central film asset that in a very precise way infuses value and is in turn supported by an array of related entertainment assets. So this right here, again, this is what I have printed out. You can actually go and find this and just kind of see it online. So you can basically see like the center is, theatrical films, but then when you zoom out, everything all ties in. So Disneyland ties into merchandising ties into the films tie into publications, the publications tie into the magazines tie back into everything. There's comic strips, there's TV, there's music. Now, this is just one of many maps that Walt Disney himself actually drew up. So this is the creative talent of studio theatrical films. Another one is you could go to Google and type in Walt Disney Studios strategy map, and then from here just go to images, and then you can find there's like other maps for different ways that Walt Disney looked at Walt Disney as a brand. This is another one, which is pretty much like Walt Disney Studios and how everything all ties together. So the reason I'm showing you this is because I'm working right now on my own strategy map for Alphapreneur, and it's going to be the same idea where the center is Alphapreneur, but then there's all these other things that kind of tie in to ultimately Alphapreneur. Now, with Alphapreneur being an online community, all the things that tie in when you go into Alphapreneur, that's everything that you see here on the left. So like I mentioned, there's book summaries, there's trend reports, there's swipe files, there's daily coaching sessions, there's motivational videos, there's resources, there's challenges, there's coaches, or courses, there's just all this different stuff, but it's all like centrally, it's organized in like one central location. And anyway, that's kind of like everyone's always asking me, and that's like the most common messages that I get is like, what's up with Alphapreneur? Like, where are you headed? What are you working on? Because people always see me like working on new stuff and new funnels and all that kind of stuff, but it's all leading people back to the same place. Like the place that it's leading people to is the community. When you join the community, you get access to everything. Whereas with Walt Disney, all the stuff wasn't like you get access to all the stuff when you go to Walt Disney Studios. All of his stuff was like different branches and different things, but for me, it's just all in one place. Now, eventually, my process map will be built out where I will have like apparel, I will have limited edition type gear and stuff like that you'll be able to buy. and stickers and all that kind of stuff. But that's like down the road once the community is built up to a very, large amount a number I have in my head. Once I get it to a certain amount, that's when I'll start introducing really cool kind of other things that just kind of complement the community. So that is, that's kind of my whole, plan with Alphapreneur. And that's something I want to share with all of you, because I know for a lot of people who are just getting started with building a business, it can be daunting at times. You kind of, at least I speaking from experience, there's a lot of times where like I'm in the middle of building something like Evil Energy or Nature Now, or I had an app company that made games for the iPhone. And sometimes I'd wake up and be like, what am I doing? Like I feel like there's so much more to life, and there's so much more I could be doing than just this. Right. And, for me, it took me 22 years to discover and, the idea behind, Walt Disney and all that kind of stuff, and really put it all together and think about what I really want to do and what I'm really put here to do, which is to do Alphapreneur and to just empower and give entrepreneurs like yourself absolutely everything you could possibly ever need to get whatever results it is that you want to get in your life, without creating a new course every time I want to teach you something. Which that's another thing too, is like everything that I teach is all going to be free. So everything that you see on YouTube, all these live streams I do, people would charge thousands of dollars to kind of teach this kind of stuff, or to have one-on-one interactions with a coach or a mentor or what have you. But for me, I'm always going to do it absolutely free, because my whole thing is that I'm going to teach you everything for free. But then if you want help, or you want support, or you want to maybe bounce some ideas off of me on how to apply what it is that we're talking about, you can do that in the community, and I'll be in there to help you out, as much as you need help. So with that being said, there's some questions that are coming in. So let me go ahead and answer some questions, and we're going to wrap things up because we're coming up on the hour. So Sue says, it does later.com lets you lay out and design the posts in different formats. Can you still recommend Canva for that? Canva will let you lay out one format like Facebook and save to convert to Instagram. Yeah. So with Later, which again, I'll have in-depth training on how to do all this stuff in future live streams when this challenge is over. And with Later, just to answer your question, yes, you can, when you go to create a new post, let's say for Wednesday at 10 a.m., you can each platform, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, they all have their own optimum image dimensions. Like the image dimension you would use for a quote post on Facebook is going to be different than an image dimension you're going to use on Pinterest. So what Later does is allow you to upload the different images and sizes for all the different things. And yeah, you can use Canva to make all those images and just load them all up into Later. So to answer your question, yes. Magnus says, do you use any specific mind mapping program when you do your own strategy map? Nope. I'm just drawing it out by hand. I figure if Mr. Walt can draw his out by hand, I'm going to do the same thing. So it's taken me a while. And then once ultimately I have it, I'll probably share it with all of you just so you can kind of see it. But yeah, it's going to take me a long time to do it. Just because it's drawing out by hand. It's a lot of erasing and a lot of rethinking, and it's really a lot of like digging in deep into like what it is that I really ultimately want to build and like leave behind, when my time here is done. So yeah, it's pretty deep. Sven says Alphapreneur is a digital marketing hub. So cool. Yeah. And I look at it as way more than marketing. Like the new area that I just added, here, jumping over to it, the new area that I just added today is motivation. And like this is where this is not digital marketing. This is like stuff that's going to give you mindsets to really accomplish anything that you want. And like I said, I said this earlier, which was actually trimmed out. This is only for people that were here live. So I won't share too much because I like to really treat the people that take the time to show up live. But long story short, I basically have a buddy of mine that makes unbelievable cinematic motivational type compilation videos, and I paid him thousands of dollars to be able to have the rights to take some of the videos and put them in Alphapreneur. So I'm doing that every day. I'm hand picking certain videos and putting them into Alphapreneur. So this is so Sven, whenever you mention Alphapreneur as a digital marketing hub, I'm glad you look at it as having everything you need to know about marketing. But there's a lot of other places that teach marketing too. And there's some places that will probably teach it way better than I will. But what I want to teach and provide to all of you and all the resources and assets in Alphapreneur is just everything else that you need as an entrepreneur to get the results that you want to get. So motivation is one of them. So you can see, you could just click on the first one, which this was just done today. And, the video's in there, so you can hit play on the video and all that. So that's pretty cool. Then I'm also, another section I just added 2 days ago is going to be daily coaching. So this is going to be daily coaching sessions that I'm going to be publishing for you. And when you're an Alphapreneur, I mentioned this too earlier, if you want, go into, let's say you really want to get updates about coaching or motivation, you can click on the little bell notification and then turn on email notifications for anytime there's a new topic, or in-app notifications, which you can see my little bell icon just lit up because somebody was posting something, like we're getting some, looks like we're getting some introductions. So that is something you can do. You can kind of fine tune Alphapreneur to only get notifications for what it is that you want to get notifications when you want notifications. Gary says the Disney mapping is amazing. Yeah, go down. I challenge all of you to go to Google and type in like Walt Disney strategy map and read all of the different articles and all of the different like Harvard Business Review type stuff out there where people really like sat down and dissected what it was that Walt left behind with his whole vision for Walt Disney. And if you can apply that to building your own legacy and building your own kind of empire, then it'll really kind of open your mind to some really big thinking. Pay says, this is an example of thinking big. Love it. That's awesome. International Pet Sitter said, I worked at Disney University. Walt Disney was a synergy savant before there was a way to describe what synergy was, but Jeffrey Katzenberg corrupted the purity of Walt's vision and moved on. Well, that's unfortunate that happened. And what was it? Jeff Katzenberg? I got a book. I have a couple books about Disney. One is here. Let me look. Oh, this wasn't. I was wondering when you said Jeff Katzenberg if this was this book, but this is a really cool book. I'm curious if you've heard of this international pet sitter called Be Our Guest. It says Perfecting the Art of Customer Service. I thought this book was really, really fascinating for customer service, and that's something that I like doing. That I challenge all entrepreneurs to do, is to read books that are outside of like your industry. So like I'm not in Disney and I'm not doing customer service for a company as big as Disney, but I can have some big takeaways from what Disney did to really have good customer service and apply that to Alphapreneur and helping entrepreneurs. So that was pretty cool. Frank says, for all new Alphapreneurs, Chris always loved to share with us all of his new tools and hacks, which are cool, and all golden nuggets. So thank you, Chris, for doing what you do and always over-delivering. Thank you so much, Frank. Seeing comments like that really, really makes me get excited to just even share more. Because when people like you take the time to leave comments like you just left, it just makes me feel good that people appreciate what it is that I'm sharing. And there's like so much that I could be sharing with all of you, which I am. And that's why I'm doing these live streams every day now on YouTube, because I just don't want to stop sharing. And I don't want to have before I start going live on YouTube, I was watching a lot of other people that go live on YouTube and a lot of other YouTube channels that are just really big and successful. And one thing I've noticed with all of them is that they're very scripted. They only release like 1 or maybe 3 videos a week max, because they're very well thought out and they're very scripted. In doing that, I think people like it because it just gets to the point. But also with things like that, there's a lot of like rawness and realness that is just stripped out. And it makes you wonder, as someone that watching these YouTube videos that other people create, like what is real and what isn't, because they're only showing you what they want to show you. Whereas for me, I mean, I'm as real as it gets. Like I just I go live every day. I'm fielding questions. I have no idea what questions you all are going to ask that are here live. So I'm just, but that's from me having 2 decades of experience as an entrepreneur. Like I love doing this stuff. So as long as you all keep showing up and keep appreciating what it is that I'm doing for you, and you appreciate and respect like the realness and all that, and understand that I'm not going to do all this fancy editing and all that, I'll keep showing up for all of you. John says, international pet sitter, thanks for the history of Walt Disney. Synergy is a powerful attribute in any situation. You all should start a conversation about that too, by the way, in Alphapreneur, about especially international pet sitter, all of that that you know about Disney. I would love to get some of your insights and feedback and ideas that you could like bring to the table for all of us in our community on how we can apply some stuff that you learned at Disney, to our lives. Glenn says, I'm an Alphapreneur student. Thanks, Chris. You're very welcome. Sue says, did anyone else get frozen out? My computer crashed. It looks like nobody else did. So, oops, sorry. Laptop lags every now and then. Yeah, fortunately, my computers lag a lot too. I missed the entire Disney mapping. I'll have to go back and watch the recording. Yeah, the recording will be on YouTube and in Alphapreneur. Brett says, transparency makes you authentic and what makes you unique. Thank you. Sometimes I'm worried that I'm talking too much or I'm talking for too long. But I try to, again, respect your time, keep all these live streams to about an hour. Can you all let me know, just be honest with me in the live chat, not a 1 to 10 rating this time, but just let me know in the live chat, going on for an hour in the format that I'm doing right now. And I start by like having something that we're going to talk about today, which I think I covered it in like the first 10 minutes, like the notes of today's session and the One Funnel Away challenge, but we got way off base once I was done with those notes. Take a minute if you can, even just a couple seconds, and write like 1 or 2 sentences for those of you that are in the live chat. Like what do you like about this format that I'm doing? And, do you like it? Is it too long? Is it not long enough? Do I do too much rambling? Do I not do enough rambling? I would love for you to take a minute to let me know so we can just kind of close out today, because my goal is to keep all of these like capped out right around an hour, just out of respect for all of our time, and we can get back to work and then just come back and do it again tomorrow. But again, when I'm looking at other people's YouTubes, their YouTube channels and everything, their videos are like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It's like, oh my gosh, like there's so much more people need to know that cannot be taught in 5 to 10 minutes, which is why I do the longer format. All right, let me take a look here. Jamie says we need unique online in today's world. That's what I'm here to give you. Sven says, I can see Alphapreneur becoming the entrepreneur's complete vault for fulfillment, training, and resources, but the best part is the personal way you're coaching us. Thank you, Sven. And it's I appreciate it. And that's my goal with Alphapreneur, is not only to be like a complete vault for entrepreneurs, but just to be a brand where it's almost more of like a way of life. Like you are an Alphapreneur because, the way that you live, the results that you're getting, everything that you're learning, you're all learning it from one location. And it's allowing you to really like upgrade your life to a level you never thought you could ever be at. And it's all thanks to everything that's going on that's coming out of Alphapreneur. Sue, did you answer my question regarding later? I did. You just need to go back and take a look at the replay. Magnus says around 1 hour is excellent, but 3 hours is too long. I agree. I did a couple live streams that were 3 hours, and it was like my voice was gone at the very end. I would not be able to like do those back to back. 1 hour is pretty good though. Jamie says, I like the base information. It's always so loaded with stuff never heard of. I don't think you're a rambler at all, my view. Thank you very much, because that's I think I am. So the fact that you think I'm not, that's good. That's good. And it makes me not feel so like worried about it. Gary says your freestyle is great. 1 hour is good. Brett says it's awesome. I'm very busy, so shorter the point is better. I'll try to always keep them as short as 1 hour, because there's just so much to share. Even doing these every day, I'll never run out of stuff to share, because there's that much stuff that you need to know. Magnus says format. Positive and enthusiastic with so many tips and advices on tools and ways to build your business and marketing. 10. Appreciate it, Magnus. Thank you. Dennis says, an hour is great. Then we get to go on and do our own stuff. Thank you for your time. I'm sure it is well appreciated by everyone. Thank you, Dennis. Sue says, I love the 1 hour format. I find your hidden gems and inside tips worth the time to watch them be live. You're not rambling. All is valuable. Appreciate it. Limo says, more goodies come out when you wander. All good, and thank you. You got this. Thank you. Pay says, try to make it around 1 hour. Oops, sorry. There's Pay. Pay said, try to make 1 hour would be good. Yeah, 1 hour is good for all of us, I think. Ann says, you're so authentic. You make many others on the internet look small. 1 hour is great. Even a little more. Cool. I appreciate it. So Well, with that being said, we're right out about an hour. So what I'm going to do is get to work for the day. Hopefully you all have know what you need to be doing for today as well. And again, if you are just kind of catching this and you found me randomly on YouTube and you think this is pretty cool and you want to be kind of more a part of what we do here, again, you can just go to alphapreneur.com and you can just put in your email and join us. And once you do, you'll get into Alphapreneur and you'll get access to all the stuff that's going on. I won't hound you every day with emails. You can pick and choose what you want to get emails and notifications on, because there is a lot of stuff in here. So I've only kind of showcased like the dashboard, challenges, there's courses, there's coaching. I mean, but the community is just massive. So, I mean, you can pick and choose like what you want to get notifications on, or you could just come in here and go to your home screen and think of this as like a Facebook news feed, but this is only for the spaces you follow. So you can come in here and like see, introductions people are doing. You can see the posts that I'm making. You can see like looks like a Naima just came in. Like she's a new entrepreneur with loads of hope. Great pleasure to get connected. She's a brand ambassador. Truly excited, anxious about what the program is going to bring her. Hopes to get connected with you in professional advices to start up my business. So, like I said, it's incredible because people are sharing stuff that's in here that I've never seen anyone ever share in a place like a Facebook, anywhere on Facebook or anything like that, because it is a safe place. So, like Naima, for instance, you could click on Naima, and then you can see she's in Sydney, Australia, and then from here you can like message her. You can chat, follow her on the Instagram. You could check her out on LinkedIn, and then you can see posts. Like she just signed up, so there's only one topic, but you could see like other topics that she does. And that's what's really cool about this. It's just I really want this community to grow like 1,000-fold this year. Like I've got really big hopes for this. And my whole strategy again is I'm just going to keep going live on YouTube every day of the week, Monday through Friday. I got to take some time off just to disconnect from all this technology. But Monday through Friday, my whole thing is I'm just going to go live and just lay it all out there. Once this 30-day challenge is over, which we're on day 23, we're so close to being done, which has really worn me out. Because just going through the challenge and talking about the same thing every day. But once we're done, I mean, that's where it's like, I feel like I've got my, I feel like I'm like restrained. Like I can only talk about stuff on the One Funnel Away challenge, which is what I should be doing because it's what the challenge is about. But I feel like I'm restrained right now. And as soon as this 30-day challenge is up, I'm just like all of my shackles are being broken. That's when I'm just going to go nuts on YouTube with live streams of just talking about going really deep on certain things and tools and tips and tricks and books and, all kinds of really fun stuff. So I'm just going to keep showing up for all of you as long as you keep showing up for me. Even if you don't show up, if I'm still going to go live because I know people are going to see the replays eventually. And then if you ever want to connect with myself or any of the other entrepreneurs that you see, on here that are on here live or in Alphapreneur, just try it out. Go to Alphapreneur, sign up, see if it's for you. And if it's not, at least you tried it, right? So that's all I got for today. I'll be back again tomorrow, same time, same place, 1 p.m. Central on the YouTube channel for Alphapreneur. If you are not yet subscribed, make sure you hit subscribe, turn on notifications so you get notified when I go live, because there's a lot of fun things that I do for only people that show up live. Not only do you have the live chat where you get to engage with myself and others, but you also, there's things that I do that I actually trimmed out so people on the replay don't get. It's just kind of like my little gift for people to show up live. So that's all I got for you all today. And just show up tomorrow and I'll be here and I'll talk to you soon.